Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, June 30th, and I'm your host, Brian Boudreau. It's great to have you with us as we end another week here in Norwood. This week on Norwood News, Norwood gets ready for the 4th, concert season is getting ready to kick off, but first, Norwood Hospital celebrated an important construction tradition last Friday. The topping off ceremony commemorates the completion of the building structure with the final steel beam and a tree being placed atop the new Norwood Hospital site. Different people involved with the project signed the beam, and it is raised to the final position amidst much fanfare. NCM was there to capture the entire event and spoke with hospital president Dr. Sal Perler about this momentous occasion means to the hospital staff, town, and the residents of Norwood.
So we are super excited to get to this phase, and the amount of work getting here has been monumental. And it's not like a typical construction project because we had to abate the building, knock the building down, remove the debris, and then start on site work. So it's been a lot more work than a regular construction project. So for us, the symbol of the last beam today means while I know there's a lot of work left to be done, it shows some form of substantial completion, and it's one step closer for us to be able to the community, which is really what we're here for. So the process really has been, it's been amazing. It's been a learning experience between just getting the approvals from the town. The town has been amazing. There was even a street in the middle of Norwood Hospital that we didn't own from 100 years ago. So so many people were so helpful to get the obstacles and bypass them. So that part was a learning process for all of us, a lot of night meetings. So thank you for everyone in all those committees who gave up their nights to make this happen. And then designing an entire hospital is something I've never done. And I've been an administrator for 20 years. So that part, kudos to the Smith Group, the architect firm, all our staff that participated. It took a year to plan this entire building. So the process has been excellent. I enjoyed it, and I was so thankful to have so many staff members and medical staff, community members, and the board participate in these weekly meetings. You really don't think about it until you get here, and then you write your name on it, and you're now part of a piece of history that included a devastating weather event that took our hospital away, to the next phase of the last beam going up and having your name on it, which will be there forever. So it means a lot to me. I'm very grateful.
In partnership with the Morrill Memorial Library, the Norwood Church of God, located on Vanderbilt Ave, hosted a Haitian storytelling event. The focus of the presentation was Mapping Haiti in Massachusetts, presented by Charlot Lucien.
What we are having here is a continuation of what we call the Haitian Heritage Month, which normally takes place in May. However, we thought that it would be a great idea to continue with celebration by bringing part of the programming to the audience of the Church of God in Norwood. So we are going to be packaging a couple of concepts here. First, we'll be talking about the impact of the Haitian Revolution on American history, particularly the 19th century, and with a focus on the U.S. abolitionist movement. So that's one. And second, there are people here who are in their 60s, their 70s, wanted to hear, to experience again Haitian culture through storytelling. So we'll do a bit of storytelling as they know it. We refer to storytelling, to l'audience, or to histoire in Haitian Creole. So that will involve a bit of interactive connection with the audience. So we are in both for the historical or the educational piece, as well as the cultural entertaining piece through storytelling and Haitian riddles. When we talk about Haitian storytelling and Haitian riddles, that's part of the tradition that goes back way back to Africa, even after Haitians or Africans were brought into Haiti and were enslaved. Part of how they preserved their memories of the country was through storytelling. So think of it this way. Those enslaved Africans at night, when they have a break, would actually tell and retell what they used to hear back in the days. So over 2 centuries and more, Haitians continue to use storytelling as a way to entertain themselves, but also to preserve the culture. Now, the storytelling is never about sitting down and then shouting something to the audience. It's also getting them involved. So people may hear the riddles as a way not only to actually challenge or to play mind games, but also to pass on certain precepts, certain knowledge. Because through riddles, kids learn to provide certain answers that correspond to certain ways of seeing life, to certain ways of preserving their health, to certain way of showing respect to the elders. So that's part of the tradition. And through the storytelling, or the stories themselves, the folk tales, people are hearing about lions, about tigers. Now, these are not animals that we have in Haiti. However, as people talk about the jungle and the lions, some of them came clearly from Africa. Some of them came through the interaction, the connection between the African culture and the European culture of the slave owners. So they made it into the psyche, they made it into the memory, they made it into the traditions of Haitians through storytelling. So we will have members of the audience. I especially expect those who are in their 60s and their 70s to either sing some of the pieces or to shout some of the responses to the riddles or to challenge others to answer. So I think they or myself are going to have fun because this is, again, re-experiencing things that we've seen in Haiti back in the, I won't tell you my age, but clearly back in the 70s, back in the 80s. I'm just joking.
Coming up on Norwood News, Ron Marshalsea updates us on summer ball, and we get a government recap. Norwood's 2023 Independence Day celebration will be held on Tuesday, July 4th. The Doll Carriage and Bike Parade kicks off from the gazebo at 1 p.m., followed by a carillon concert at 2:30 p.m. with Norwood's own Lee Leach and Margaret Angelini of Wellesley College. Norwood's annual Firecracker 5K road race will start at 5 p.m., and at 5:30, the annual 4th of July parade will kick off from the Coakley Middle School, making its way down Washington Street to the town common. NCM is excited to be carrying this event live. Now let's throw it over to Ron Marshalsea with the latest in sports.
I'm Ron Marshalsea, and this is your Sports Update. Norwood High sports have concluded until September, and the Norwood Little League just finished their seasons as well. The 2023 Little League champions are the Phillies, the A-ball champs are the Rangers, and the AA champs are the Reds. Congratulations to each team and all the players and coaches on successful seasons. In Babe Ruth news, the Rangers beat the A's in 2 games and now await the winner of the Dodgers-Cubs series. The senior Babe Ruth team, coached by coaches Lally and Klein, have started their season with 5 wins in a row, being 5-0. Legion Post 70 faced top teams Walpole and Needham last week and are now sitting at 2-5-1. They will be in action on July 5th with a doubleheader against Natick starting at 5:30 at the Bulge. The Babe Ruth 13s, coached by A.J. Grant, Jason Foddy, and Joe Montesano, won their first game against Milton. The 14s, coached by Bobby Griffin, recently lost their matchup against the defending champions, Quincy. And the 15s, coached by Lighty and Pat Kavanaugh, played 5 innings against Parkway, but it got called due to rain. Since it is a district game, the game needs to be completed. The canceled game will be finished next week, right before their regularly scheduled game against Parkway next Friday night. Thank you to Diamond Club President Eddie Hickey for providing us with the latest in summer baseball news. In some other news that deserves congratulations, Dave Powell, NHS class of 2002, has won back-to-back-to-back state titles as the head coach of the Needham boys volleyball team. This team has been on a tear for the past 3 years, going on a 73-match win streak, not losing a single game, and capping it off with their third straight state championship, and fourth since 2015. Congratulations, Coach Powell, and every player that made this remarkable season possible. And that is all I have for this sports update. I'm Ron Marshalsea, and Norwood News will be right back after this break.
Are you aware of the NCM Video On Demand service? If you missed a town meeting, the latest softball win, or just want to rewatch something, you can head to norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Once you're there, click on one of the on-demand options, search what you're looking for, and most importantly, enjoy.
The Board of Health met for the last time before summer break at the Senior Center. During the tobacco report, it was said that only one business failed the compliance check when a youth was sent in to attempt to buy a pack of cigarettes and succeeded.
So Rotem conducted compliance checks in Norwood in June, and she hit all the establishments that we do have, and fortunately there was only one sale that was on Monday, June 19th at Mr. Frank's Food Mart, 917 Washington Street. She had a youth buyer go into the establishment, and they were able to purchase a packet of cigarettes without being carded. So as a result, they have been sent a cease and desist letter that notifies them of a $1,000 fine and a 3-day suspension of their permit. They have 7 days to request a hearing before the board to contest this. Assuming that they don't do that, because as far as I know they have not yet, that 3-day suspension will begin on June 28th. So it'll be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. So, as I said, we haven't heard anything from them, but they still can request that hearing today or tomorrow, and then it'll go into effect on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
When is the $1,000 check payable?
I don't think that there's a timeline on that specifically, but if they didn't, we would follow up with them and say you need to pay that fine. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Is there a 30-day period or usually 30-day period? Okay.
It's within 21 days of the receipt of the order. It says that on cease and desist. There we go. We did cover that. So,
was it the same youth that entered all the facilities, all the licensed tobacco
yes,
stores? Same one?
We only have one youth currently. We are attempting to get more, but at this point we're good with compliance checks for now. So hopefully going forward we will be able to find an additional person just to, it makes it easier logistically if one person's not available, then maybe someone else is. So.
The next Board of Health meeting will take place on September 12th at 10:30. The location is yet to be determined. At the Board of Selectmen meeting this past Tuesday, a public hearing was held for a beer and malt beverage license request by Norwood Sitco, located on the corner of Route 1 and Dean Street. With 2 locations already at that intersection, Selectman Plasko raised his concerns about adding a third alcohol license in that area.
I tend to be opposed to this location. The provisions of Chapter 138 are really enacted with the view of serving the public need, and as determined by the local licensing authority, for having an adequate number of places where the public can obtain these type of products that they might be in search of. This location is right across from another beer and wine, 2 buildings down from one of the largest full-service liquor stores in the area, and I see that as just clustering too many licenses and not in the best interest of the town to be doing that, having that kind of an arrangement all clustered together. We also do have, as the licensing authority, the ability to deny, which we did the last license I was just trying to refer to, if we thought that the geographical area and place was inappropriate. And again, repeating myself, I think saying it in a slightly different way, I just don't find this site appropriate considering the other licenses in the area.
The license that would be applied to the Sitco station would come from Convenient Mart, located in South Norwood. Convenient just acquired a new full alcohol license, leaving their malt beverage license up for grabs.
It is what is proposed here is a transfer of the license that is presently held by a Convenient Food Mart at 1237 Washington Street to Mr. Saba's operation. You may recall that a few months ago you approved the transfer of an all alcoholic beverages license from an entity that had been licensed for a site on Route 1, and that transfer was authorized and approved by you to go to the Convenient Food Mart operation. So they are trying to dispose of the beer and wine license that they had acquired previously. And this is sort of a two-step we've got here, because you can't have two licenses at once. So the transfer of the AAB license is in abeyance. It's been reviewed by the ABCC. I understand that they sent it back with no action because they know we're trying to process this application and this transfer.
For the first time in a long time, the decision came down to a split vote. With Chairman Matt Lane absent, only 4 voting members were present. Chairman Lane will cast the tie-breaking vote at the July 18th meeting. With summer officially here, the Norwood Summer Concert Series schedule has been released. Beginning the week after the 4th, the Gazebo will be jamming with tunes on Sunday nights for Concerts on the Common series. On Mondays, the Carillon Bells will be playing from the Norwood Town Hall Tower thanks to Lee Leach. Kids will get a chance to sing and dance at the Concert Series on the Common 3 Tuesdays thanks to the Norwood Junior Women's Club. And finally, on Wednesday nights, Summerfest will be back to round out the week of music on the Common. The full schedule can be found on norwoodma.gov, and NCM will be there covering each concert and rebroadcasting them on the community channel. Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.